Hey guys, welcome to Celia's Playlists. We have another interview today, and I am so excited because today I have East of Anthony that we're talking about, which is an alt rock band. Apparently, I can't talk. This is a band that was created by Anthony Tabone, and Stephen Thomas and Zach Maxwell are also a part of this band. They're like a 90s, 2000s grunge act that has a little bit of blues, a little bit of folk, and it's actually a really interesting mix. So I'm going to bring Anthony on and we're going to get into it. Hey, Anthony, how's it going?
Good, good. Thanks
Welcome,
for having
welcome.
me.
Of course. So, Anthony, will you tell me a little bit about this band? I believe that you're the founding member of East of Anthony.
Yeah, I started it back in 2020, just basically starting to write music. Played for years, and decided I'm going to sit down and actually put pen to paper. And that's kind of how it started. Um, and then I went through just a long streak of writing. And so then you've got all this material, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with it? I don't want to just put it on a shelf. So I started doing my own recording. It was horrible at first, awful, sounded horrible. So then you're learning how to produce all that, which I'm still learning. But yeah, 2 years later, here we are. So 3 years, no, 4 years later. Good
Oh,
lord,
wow.
yeah,
Time
yeah,
has
4 years
passed.
later, yeah.
I feel
So
like
I
time
picked
doesn't
up.
exist anymore.
No, it really. It's where does it go? Yeah.
So Anthony, how did you land on the genre that you decided? Because grunge rock is a fun genre, and there's a lot that you can do within that. But what was your draw towards rock and roll?
Um, growing up listening to it, that's heavy influences of Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, things like that. So that influenced me big. Coming, I was a kid, '90s kid. So, and then 2000s rocks, still some really great music coming out of that. And then my taste kind of, which I love all kind of genres of music. I was blasting Whitney Houston the other day. um, so I have a lot of influences, but towards like mid 2000s, I started, kind of delving into like Mumford and Sons, things like that. Lord Huron started, I learned of him, and so that kind of influenced how I wrote. So you get kind of this really heavy rock with us. When you come to one of our shows, you'll get really like hard rock, but then you'll get some acoustic stuff too out of nowhere, which is like our one of our main logos, the tiger, the kind of the two-faced tiger. That's all what that's all about. I can't talk either today, Celia.
It's one of those
So
days. It's okay.
yeah,
I have enough energy drinks for both of us, so you got to
okay.
just come over here to New York, and I'll get you one.
Actually, we'll be there soon, I think. So we might take you up on
Well,
that.
you'll have to let me know. You'll have to
I
let me know.
will.
I owe you a prime.
Okay.
Not sponsored.
That's
But where are you? You're in Arkansas, right?
I'm in Arkansas. Been here since '98. Um, but yeah, my roots are New York, Mississippi. So I know, weird, right? Weird.
Hey, I mean, it keeps you eclectic. I have a diverse for the area background because I have a little bit of Connecticut, a little bit of Brooklyn, a little bit of Long Island, and that's
Hmm.
how I sound like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, Anthony, tell me a little bit about the shows that you guys put on. Are they more in the area that you live? Do you tour around? Have you torn around?
So yeah, so we found an amazing booking guy, Joe Swink, if I'm saying his, remember his name right. Swink. Yeah. So he's been great. He has loaded us up here in Arkansas. We're starting off right now in Arkansas. We have a I mean, full spring lineup all the way to Missouri, down to Memphis, which is part of my old stomping grounds too. So we'll be playing a lot of Memphis and back towards that area. But our goal, in hopefully towards the end of the year, we all as guys have to get time off before we go out of state. But My family's from Massapequa, so our goal is to play New York soon. Joe says he's yeah, yeah, I can get you up there. So our goal is to play New York, hopefully like for a week, like do like a some shows for about a week. I have free room and board, so I think I still do. I have to check with all my family, but I believe I still do. They're all music junkies too, so I think and they've been a huge support. So I'm pretty sure we'd have free room and board. That's our goal. Hopefully, I would love like our first out of state be New York, NYC. So just like kind of back to the roots
I gotcha.
type
Well, if you
stuff.
make your
Might
way up
call it
here, I'll
that way.
definitely have
Might call
to.
it that.
I'll have to come and see you if you're up here.
I would hope so. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the songs that I have on the Void. I believe I have "Remember Me," "Damage Done," and "I Didn't Know" on the Void.
hmm
Where did some of the inspiration for some of these come from? And did you write these when it was a solo project, or when you started accruing members?
Remember Me was solo. That's based off the loss of a friend, and it can be about loss, period. But it is based off the loss of a friend. Um, Damage Done is a lot of relationship type, based, and having someone kind of swoop in and help fix damaged parts. Is that what that song is about? And then you said I didn't know. Is that the other one? Yeah. Again, I didn't know. Is just I don't know where that came from. It's a sappy love song, pretty much, is what it is. That's my softer side. Yeah. And then we have our new album Nemesis is very heavy at times. But yeah, I didn't know it was definitely just a sappy love song, which I am very much a sappy love song type of person at times, and so that's where that came from. Yeah.
I understand. I'm also a sappy love song type of person. So, so we've touched upon it a couple of times, but you started out as a solo project, and you have gained members over time. How
Mhm.
has that like affected your creative process, and how has that gone for you?
It's going great. Which Zach's our newest. He's our newest member. But Steven, me and Steven are able to really bounce off ideas, really good off each other. I love it. He's an amazing musician. He sings too. I'm hopefully going to try to get, you know, in the future, start moving him towards the front and showcasing some of his stuff, if he wants to. But a great songwriter too. We wrote a song together. We've been trying to record it for almost a year now, and it's his lyrics. I wrote the music to it. Great song. We do it live, but I can't wait to get it recorded. So yeah, we feed off each other great. Zach too, we hit it off. Just he came to one of our shows actually. So Zach saw us at one of our shows, and we hit it off immediately. And so just practicing, letting um, as they learn, like as he's learned my songs, I tell him, just hey, put your own spin on it. Keep the structure of it, but you want to add something, your little, Zach's little touch to it. We'll go for it, and it's amazing what he comes up with. So I look forward to what we're gonna come up with in the future. Yeah,
It sounds like you are a fan of collaborating. Some
I
people
am.
like to have like full control,
Yeah,
but tell me
yeah.
about your thoughts on collaboration.
I love collaborating. I tried to hit somebody else up here recently about collaborating. Haven't heard back. Which it's tricky. I'm weird about the internet too. Like you always, who am I talking to? So you got to be careful. But at the same time, I would love to collaborate a very Linkin Parkish type song where
Mm.
there's like some hip hop. If you listen to Nemesis, there's a song on there, couple songs actually that have some very hip hop vibes to them, and so I would love to do a kind of a I guess you'd call it rap rock kind of style song. Um, that's a goal of mine. Yeah,
That's a really
break through
cool.
the hip hop into the hip hop genre.
I like that because I am a big fan of bringing together different genres because you know
Mhm.
good music is good music, and as long as it makes you feel and it makes you feel good, or I mean, if it's supposed to be a sad song, makes you feel bad. um but maybe not bad, bad's not the right word, but
Yeah,
as long as it's making you feel something, then it is a a powerful thing. I'm a big person when it comes to like my playlists and everything. It's all about energy and how it makes you feel and how you feel listening to it. And
hmm,
I feel like depending on like the song, you can really feel what the artist is putting into it. So, would you tell me a little bit about, I guess,
for sure.
your process, because that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I'm gonna name drop. No, I don't know him. I wish I'd know him.
It's fine.
If Billy Corgan sees this from the Smashing Pumpkins, I would love to collaborate with him. No, I'll never forget reading an article where Billy was, he the way he writes, if I remember correctly, you know, you come up with the music first and then put lyrics to it. I think it was Billy Corgan, but and just having a way of spontaneously writing or recording when you have an idea, don't lose it type of deal. Which we have our phones with us all the time now. I think when I read that article, it was like answer machines, right? Um, so you would. I think he made a comment where he would call his house and just leave a message on his answer machine if he had an idea for a song. So I'll do that. My phone slows down on a period or a regular period because I overload it with ideas. So that's one way. But I'll take time. I try to take time every week to just kind of goof around on the guitar, come up with a riff. I'm all about riffs. If you listen to our music, you'll hear it. Lots of catchy riffs. Um, uh, I'll try to come up with that first, and then a melody, and then I'll record it. It'll be a horrible recording usually, but just something I can listen to while I'm working or doing whatever through the week, and I'm trying to come up with a melody to go with that. And once I've got the melody, then I'm trying to think of lyrics, and that could take weeks. Sometimes it could take 15 minutes to come up with lyrics that fit that melody, and then then it comes the structuring it, putting it together where it sounds like a song. That's how I do it. If that made any sense.
Oh, it definitely made sense. And I want to touch upon something that, like, came up in that last question, but came up when we were talking a little bit about the touring. How do you find balance between, I guess, work and your work as an artist?
That's tricky because I do so many different things. I'm also an artist. Scratch Art by Tony. There's a plug for my art.
Oh, cool.
So I do art. I teach art. Um, I teach music. So it's tricky. Yeah, as far as balancing, that's why I made the joke to you earlier. Like, what sleep? What's sleep?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what
It,
sleep is either. That's why this
yeah,
is actually my second energy drink today.
yeah.
It's been a time.
I know. I live off of them too. I'm not proud of that. But
Me neither.
with the shows, it's just finding me and my booking agent. We've been on the same page pretty good as far as like, here's my weekends. He was great to just automatically go, okay, these are your weekends. These aren't, and started booking. And then it's getting with the guys and making sure they've got the same days. But it is a juggling act between work and you still got to work. Hopefully, you can eventually make good money with your music. That's everybody's goal, I think, or your art, whatever your art is. But it is a juggling act that you have to kind of. It changes, I think. Is it ever changing? Yeah, it could change. It can kind of be easy sometimes, and then just a headache the next. But you love it, so you keep doing it.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a juggling act, especially when you have other members that you have to rely on, because you need to make sure that everyone's schedules match up.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's tricky.
yeah. Every time you say it's tricky, someone in the last interview was talking about Run DMC, and it starts up the song in my head.
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So I think that my final question to you is, if someone was looking to start, creating whatever their art is today, what would be your biggest, piece of advice for them getting into music, art, whatever it may be?
Um, be prepared to have your big boy pants on or your big girl panties because it's going to be hard. It's very hard. You're not going to get support from the people you think you will, and then you'll get support from people you would never expected. But but you know, don't give up. Um, take constructive criticism because you need to grow. You're going to get a lot of opinions, so you have to separate opinions from, okay, that was constructive. I'm going to use that versus you just don't like this type of music or something, or something like that. So there's a balance with that. But I also have a saying, and you can a lot. If I teach art, I always put it on the whiteboard or music, and it's you can usually find it somewhere in my social media. But it's let your art give you wings. Let it take you away uh, to somewhere of peace, tranquility. Just basically to tap out and use your art, whether it's music or art, to tap out. But once you find that, share it with somebody else. And so that's, I think, one of the biggest things I tell people is once you head down that road and you're doing it, you're enjoying it, share it with somebody. Because especially music, art, no one's gonna ever find it if you don't share it. So you have to share it. Sometimes the quality is not great at first, but no one's gonna ever hear it if you don't share it. So it's kind of
I
my
think
advice.
that is great advice. And we are coming up to the end of this. So I want to
We are.
know, where can people find you? And I'm going to like commit that all of that you just said to memory, because I've always thought about that, because everyone says, oh, just keep putting stuff out. Like, they don't understand why. And the searchability and findability is like the biggest thing when it comes to art, because you need to find your
Yeah,
audience. So
yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up. But where can
You're
people
gonna,
find you?
yeah, you're gonna find your audience. You're gonna have haters, but you're gonna also have people, your focus audience, who are gonna love your stuff. So that's who you want, to get in front of. So you can find us at eastofanthony.com. That's our website. But Instagram at East of Anthony, Facebook is Anthony Tabone. I haven't figured out how to change that yet to East of Anthony. I'm working on it. My booking guy's like, you need to change that. I'm like, I know. I'm working on it. But and YouTube too. YouTube at East of Anthony. And yeah, all together we're close to about 2,000 followers. All those platforms together, um, collectively. So we're gradually getting some groupies, I think, and they're not all family too.
That's
So
awesome.
random people
Well,
too.
I mean,
So
hi, I'm one of your followers, and I'm glad
yeah,
that we
yep,
were
yep,
able to
yep, yep.
connect on here. And
Yes, yeah,
you had some great advice in here, and I really appreciate you sitting down and talking to me, and I guess talking to the people of the internet about you and your project.
yeah, yep. Look forward to doing something again like this.
Yeah, definitely. But on that note, we're gonna say goodbye, and we'll be back for the next interview.
All right. Thanks a lot.